Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Brett Allan Show, a pop culture podcast where we interview your favorite actors from film, television, movie, music, and now Broadway and more. We can add that to our title. We've had several Broadway actors on in the last week and a half, so it's been very fascinating.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you are in good company. And we are talking about the Many Saints of Newark, which is due to open on Friday, October 1st on HBO Max and in theaters. And my goodness, if you can see this in theaters, please do, because we need to support theaters. Although watching movies at home, Mattea's laughing at me, is a lot of fun. But it's time to get out of the pajama pants and into the theaters and watch shows and support theaters. Live theater as well. We're going to talk about that. But we're chatting with Mattea Conforti, who is, you know her from Broadway, and she stars in this fantastic film. She plays young Janice Soprano. And we had Alexandra on today, who plays the older version of Janice. So we've got two Janices on the show. Mattea, welcome in. It's great to have you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Well, you are just a powerhouse. And I have to say, Alexandra had so many great things to say about you. And when we talked about you playing the younger version, she said she's a boss. She's a rock star. I couldn't have asked for anybody better to counter you in this film. So let's talk about Many Saints. You guys just had the premiere recently, so people had a chance to watch it for the first time. But I'm certain, along with other people, this had to have been, I mean, you've done a lot of things, Nosferatu. I mean, we'll talk about that. But how did it feel to be a part of this project that is something so iconic and something that is such a staple in American pop culture?
Right. So it's definitely such a different experience than anything I've done before, but it was so enjoyable to be a part of. And it really was such a welcoming cast and crew the whole time I was on set. You definitely feel that sort of like, okay, this is Sopranos, like you're young Janice. You kind of have a role to deliver here. So this has to be good because people are going to be expecting a lot from you. But it was definitely so much fun to be a part of. If anything, the pressure came more from my family because they're
Okay, of course.
huge Sopranos fans. But yeah, it was such an amazing. I was so honored to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's great. Did they make you watch episodes like some of the other cast, rewatch it, or had you
Well,
seen it? I'm sure you have had to have seen it at some point. I mean, or maybe not. I
right,
don't know. I'm assuming.
yeah. So when we filmed this was like 3 years ago. So I'm 15 now, and I filmed this when I was 12. So my parents were like, "You can't really watch the show yet. Like we're not gonna let you watch the show yet." But they knew they're really big fans of the show, so they were telling me all about how to portray Janice and what her personality was like. So that helped me out.
Wow, I didn't realize. I knew it had been a while, but I didn't realize it had been that long. I mean, they've been talking about this film coming out for a very long time. Like it's been in the media. They've been planting stories about this for a long time. So when we finally found out this is happening, it's great. Well,
Mhm.
you did a fantastic job. Like I said, I had the opportunity to see it, and I'm not going to ask, or we're not going to give any spoilers, but I think we can talk about this. This is not like what people would probably be familiar with the HBO show. This is something totally different, right? This is more
Right.
of kind of getting an introduction to all of the characters very young and up and sort
Mhm.
of their origin stories and pretty much kind of how Tony Soprano became Tony Soprano, right? That's a fair assumption without spoiling anything.
That's yeah, that is pretty spot on. Definitely not like the TV show. It's more about how to prepare the audience of how this came into the series and how everybody was mentally formed, like their characters, how their characters were transformed from where they started from to where the series begins.
Yes, I like how you said mentally formed because that is very true. Because we
Yes.
all know Janice as this iconic character who has been mentally, physically just tortured in so many different ways. and she's crazy in, in the HBO series.
Okay.
Yes. So that's funny. Even Alexandra, who plays the older version of you, the teenage, well, I wouldn't say teenage, but older version of your
Mhm.
character, even said that, really just getting a honest portrayal and picture of the character and really sort of what she was like before she became who she was. Right.
Mhm.
And I think that's good. And I think the viewers, when they get a chance to see this, will be very excited because I think we always have kind of wondered how people become how they are. And this
Yeah.
story clearly answers that for us as viewers.
Movie definitely helps with how the characters evolved and how they changed and how their mindset is when the series starts.
Yes. Now, you mentioned the fact this was a different experience for you. I want to talk about this. How did you find out about this? And when you read for the role, was it like everybody else? You didn't know what it was. You just kind of were given a dummy sides and said, we want you. Did you kind of
Yeah.
put it together? I mean, I'm curious about your experience.
I had no idea what this was going to be. My mom had no idea. No one else that was part of the audition process with me had any idea. And I was doing Frozen at the time. I was playing young Anna in the musical on Broadway. And we just got this audition, and it was just, no details, no characters whatsoever. Just read these lines, tape it, and you're good. So we are like, okay, and we don't really know what this is for, but I guess we'll audition. We're doing musical right now, so obviously can't conflict with that, but the shoot date is far enough in advance that we're not gonna have to worry about that. So I auditioned for that, and once I booked it, my mom was like, wait, wait. Sopranos? Like this could have been anything. This could have been any project that you couldn't talk about. And this is Sopranos? Like, good job, Mattea.
Yeah, that's great. Like how fun it must have been to find out that this was what you were doing.
Yeah.
Now, it's exciting. Again, it's in theaters October 1st. Mattea, you play young Janice Soprano. At the end of the day, outside of being entertained, do you have a hope or an expectation that people walk away with when they get a chance to see this? Do you feel that way about a lot of projects, or is that sort of outside of your jurisdiction and you just do the best that you can and sort of let the audience decide, how they feel about things?
I think I think there's some parts that the audience can leave up to their imagination and that they can decide how they want it to go the way that they think it should go at the end of the movie. But I really think that the audience is going to enjoy this movie and they're really going to get a lot of detail from it. And it's definitely going to lead into the series in a great way. It's going to help flow.
Great. So we can expect a lot of fan service, which is amazing. Again, you did such a great job. And what I have seen, it's just exciting. I want to switch gears and talk about your background in theater because that's what most people probably know you from. So you just lit up there. So this is a very exciting topic for you. You played Anna in Frozen on Broadway. I mean, another dream role. So let's talk about this because you're 15 and you have accomplished a lot in your life so far, probably more than most 15-year-olds have ever, definitely more than I did when I was 15. I can assure you of that. So,
Mhm.
congratulations. Let's talk about your background in theater and really sort of what interested you in entertainment and how that happened for you, your
Mhm.
journey, your actor's story, Mattea.
Well, okay, my story is that I started out a competitive dancer when I was very young, and I would compete all the time, and dance was just my life. And one day, my parents had these friends, and they were saying, Mattea should see an agent for her dancing, and maybe you can land some dancing roles or get any more dancing opportunities for her. So we were like, okay, like first of all, what's an agent? Second of all, I guess like we didn't think anything was going to happen. So we go into New York and we meet up with my agents now. I'm with Innovative, and I showed them a dance video of me, and they said, okay, like we'll call you back when we have anything. Like we'll look for dancing opportunities for her. So they called me back for an open call audition for Matilda the musical on Broadway, and I was 8, I think. Yeah, I was 8, and they said she can go and she can audition to be in the ensemble and her dancing background will look really good on her resume. So I auditioned for the ensemble in Matilda. And then 6 months later, they called me back and they said, we want to see her for the role of Matilda. So that's kind of how everything snowballed on from there. I didn't have any professional acting or singing training. I mean, I would sing in my shower before the audition, but that was pretty much it.
Right. Well, it's safe to say you have an amazing voice. I mean, there's people who can sing and can say they can sing, but then there's people, you know what I mean, who can really sing. And
Thank
there's a
you.
difference, right? I mean, I can sing, but I can't sing like you can sing on Broadway. So you've
Thank
been a
you.
part of Matilda, oh, of course, Frozen. Now, do you have a variance to one or the other, or do you just like to perform overall? Like it's just fun for you no matter what?
I just I really like to perform no matter what the if, no matter if it's a Broadway stage or if it's film. I like to deliver um a character and like to get into character. I just like performing in general.
Yeah, that's great. Well, so now Broadway is opening back up, and that's very exciting for a lot of people. Are you working on anything that you can talk about that you have upcoming next, or we're focused on Many Saints and we'll see what happens next? Because I think a lot of people are excited to see what you're going to do next. I know I am for sure.
I think right now I'm focused on Many Saints, but definitely have a lot of opportunities coming in, so I'm excited about that. And just trying to stay busy as best as I can. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. Well, we have been chatting with Mattea Conforti. She can be seen in the upcoming film, The Many Saints of Newark, which uh, airs October 1st in theaters and on HBO Max. But this is a great film. I strongly recommend seeing it in a theater if you can because it's so beautifully done. The music, I mean, everything is just iconic of this story. You did an amazing job. And also on Broadway, of course. And you can Google Mattea. If people want to connect with you on social media and see some of the work that you've done, how can they best do that?
Well, my Instagram is Mattea Conforti, and it's just one word.
Fantastic, Mattea. Thank you for joining me today on the show. I appreciate it. It's been fun
Thank you
chatting
so
with
much
you.
for having me.